Hello and welcome to the extended version of the podcast. It's on Patreon.
Yeah.
Hello, Patreon people. We probably have one Patreon
Hello.
one of these days. I'm only one.
Only one. Welcome.
Only the one Patreon. Yeah.
It's okay.
Ah.
Ah.
Arg. Arg.
Arg.
Arg.
Arg.
We pirates.
Arg.
I remember when I was younger, I remember playing Beyblades a lot. Did you ever play Beyblades when you were younger? No. I used to play Beyblades with my cousin Trenton. Oh my god, it was the best time ever. I remember I was at school once, alright? And I brought Beyblades to school, and I was in elementary school at the time, and we were at recess, alright? I would say we'd had a decent playground. It was very good, I'd say. So we went by this tree. I went by this tree. I don't know why I'm speaking as many, but I went by this tree, and I found like acorns. So I took one of the acorns. I was looking for good acorns, and as some people may know, on Beyblades you have like removable things, like you take the tip off, you take different gears off and different like metals and change it up.
So just for people who don't know what Beyblades are, do you want to explain?
Beyblades are spinning things. I don't know how to explain it. I got into Beyblades when I was much younger. I started off watching it as a show on television, and that's how they get you to buy their products. And then I was more into playing with Beyblades than actually watching the show. So they're little things. You get these little two things, and you get like a little arena you can play with. You put the arena down, and then you'd put the little sliding thing into the thing. You twist the Beyblade on it, and then you rip it, and it starts spinning. The idea of Beyblade is there would be two people, and the two Beyblades will be battling each other, and the one that lasts the longest wins. And I was always trying to find ways to make my Beyblade last longer. And for some reason, I thought if I infused an acorn tip and make it sharp, that it would make my Beyblade last longer. And in retrospect, I don't think it could, but it probably could at the same time. There's like different metals I was thinking of. In later years, I thought, what about if I like got like different types of sharp metal and put it as like the base? It gets like scrape up the other Beyblade, and I can win pretty fast. But I was thinking about putting an acorn on the tip as a tip, and like sharpening it and like making it neat. I was gonna make it like a nature form Beyblade.
Why? Oh, but why an acorn?
Because it reminded me of a Beyblade tip at the time. And so I was like, yeah, that seems like it would work. And I think it would. Yeah. Yup.
That was like one of my stories.
What?
That was like one of my stories.
What do you mean, one of your stories?
Like, there's really no like big plot.
Yeah. I just liked it. It was great. I used to play Beyblades like pretty much all the time, and it was great. What
Yeah.
is one toy you used to play when you were little?
Um, I I don't really know. I
You
don't know.
don't know.
Toys weren't really my thing,
Uh,
like ever.
I remember playing a lot of
Yeah.
Minecraft, and I still play a lot of Minecraft.
Yeah.
That was always my thing.
Mhm.
I'd always play Minecraft with my
Yeah.
cousins.
Oh, I do remember. I loved like those suction things,
Yeah,
like those things you'd like put on the like. It had like a
I
thing
think.
that you. It's like kind of clear and it's like suction cupped, so you'd like put it against like a window or something and it'd like stick.
And then it could pop. Yeah.
Yeah, I I used to have those a lot.
Ooh, I can tell you a story that you haven't heard before.
Okay.
So when I was younger, when I lived in this house actually, before I left and then came back to this house, um,
Yeah.
I had a toy box in my closet, alright? So
Mhm.
I was in my room one day and I figured what would be the best thing I could do. And at the time I was so little I could probably fit I what do you mean could probably I was able to fit into my toy box. So
Yeah.
I came up with a cool idea to what if I just like sleep in my toy box? So what I do is I take all the toys out of the toy box and I scatter them around my room. I just like take all the toys out and just throw them on the floor in my room. I get a bunch of blankets and
Yeah.
pillows and I put it in the toy box to make it comfortable. And then I
Huh.
remember I bring at the time I had like a little box TV. So I take the box
Mhm.
TV and I put it in my closet. And I reach an extension cord over to the thing. So I open the little lid of the toy box. I lay in the toy box and I watch TV. And
Yeah.
it was great. I remember I would watch like Scooby Doo and stuff. I was a pretty big Scooby Doo fan, and I watched a lot of
Mhm.
Batman too. Mhm.
Yeah.
Around this time, it was great.
Mhm.
Hell, I got another story. Um, when I was even more little, I lived in this house, this one house. It was in this kind of good like little place. It was like a little good house,
Mhm.
a little bigger, a decent house. I remember I used to have this. I think I had two closets. One was yeah, I know, two closets in one room. That was fucking cool, cool as fuck. So I had a very long closet, and that was like the closet that
Mhm.
was underneath the stairs for like upstairs.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I had this like one normal closet that was like kind of tiny that
Mhm.
I had like clothes and stuff in. And then
Yeah.
the long closet that was great because I could tell you a lot of cool stories. Like we kept the kittens in there. We we had little forts in there, and we had a bunch of snacks in there. Used to lot of cool stuff. I remember actually, I would go in there and I would decorate the place, and I would just sit there for hours and hours watching the show that I watched. And it was great because it was my own little space inside my own little space. I
Yeah.
absolutely loved it, and it was so relaxing. I remember, I think it was actually the safest room in the house. So one year,
Yeah.
there's like a tornado coming through, I hear. and we all go into the one room. I don't know if it was that big of a deal, but like I think my parents were saying it was such a big deal. But I don't know. I thought it was fun that we were in a closet all together. So 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 I remember
Yeah.
we all go into this closet because spooky bad weather. Um I remember we bring the cats and all the stuff in the thing. We board we put up a little board so the cats can't jump over, and we're just like sitting in the back watching TV on this very very small box TV. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we just like sit there and for like a few hours. And we're told that we're not allowed to leave the little thing until like a certain time's up. I don't know. I don't know if we were ever told. We might have been told that, but we were just like sitting there and we were just vibing, and I thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any interesting stories like that? Oh,
I
you
do
do.
actually. I remember we had a tornado. There was a tornado coming or whatever, and I so basically we had two pets at the time. We had this tiny dog, and then we had a really fat beagle. And yeah, we still have the beagle, but she's even
Yay.
fatter now. I don't know why.
Fat beagle.
But I remember the tornado was coming, so my mom was like, "You gotta go into the basement or whatever." And then, what happened is my mom was the only one home. My dad was at work, and so my mom, she sees like the thing on the TV, and she says, "Grab the dogs," and then she just walks downstairs. And like me and my sister, my brother wasn't home either. He was at his dad's, but me and my sister were like 5 and 7, I think, and we had to try to pick up my really fat dog. And I remember we took my tiny dog down first, and I was like panicking because I thought I was gonna die if I wasn't in the basement. So like I was really scared. So I was like yelling at my sister to pick up the dog, and she was like, "I can't pick her up. What do you expect me to do?" So we had to like push her down the stairs because she didn't want to get up. We didn't like push her down the stairs. That sounded aggressive. We like pushed her towards the stairs, and then we got like a treat and like chucked it down the stairs so she'd like run down there. And then we finally got in the basement, and we had to and then we were just sitting down there in the basement chilling, and we hear like a big crash, and then I was like, this is where my life ends. I'm gonna die. And my mom, she sends me to go look what the crash was. So I walk upstairs, and it was just like a bunch of like glass plates we had fell out of our cabinet, and they like shattered on the ground and stuff. And then I went back downstairs, and I was like, it was just plates. And she's like, "Oh, okay, good." And then I think we were listening on a radio because we didn't have a TV in our basement at the time. So we were just listening on the radio until it was like fine to like get out of the tornado. Like the tornado wasn't like there anymore or whatever. And it finally was over. So we went upstairs, and there was like glass shattered everywhere.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty interesting story. No, I'm just saying it's pretty interesting. I was trying to think of a story to tell, but I didn't know what else to say.
Oh.
Let's pull out my notes again.
Oh.
Oh yeah, here it is. Blah blah
Trash
blah,
notes.
blah 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 blah. say something interesting. Say a story. Say a story. Blah 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 blah. All right. Now with the amazing words of wisdom that I gave myself earlier, I can now tell an amazing story. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I will. I will. Okay. So.
Okay.
It was like a kind of a long time ago. It was my it's kind of weird because my dad he always dated like girls named Michelle. My mom's name is Michelle. Um, uh, my dad dated another girl named Michelle, and then he dated another girl named Michelle. All named Michelle.
Yeah.
And and I remember we always joked about it, and it was funny. But like I'll tell you the story. So the second Michelle, she lived in this one little tiny house. I remember, yeah, I remember I would go over there. I think it was almost day to day or every other day or something like that. I remember, there was one room, but there was a living room that they also had a curtain in, and they used the curtain to like make another room. And
Yeah.
there was this one person, she had that one room, and I think they put bunk beds in there, so there'd be a room for my sister to stay in whenever she came over. I remember at this time my my dad and her were dating, and I remember I would sleep in the same bed. I'd be like in the middle. Yeah. So in that like little makeshift type room. So I remember I don't remember how old I was, but I was being babysat at the time, and there there was these two people, and at this time I sleepwalked like a lot, and I had to be told this story like after the fact because I didn't know what was going on. So I remember my dad and this one person goes on like a date night, and we're being babysat, and everyone's asleep at this time. And I remember I start sleepwalking, so I get up, and what I was told what happened is I walk out of the little curtain area, and then they start the people that were babysitting said for me to go to bed, and then I didn't listen. And so and they just kept telling me to go to bed. and and then like apparently like moments later they get a phone call and stuff, and then they get a phone call from the people that were going on a date night like and stuff, and what happens is they're like like Caleb's not going to bed, they're like. And then they have to explain that I sleepwalk sometimes, and I thought that was kind of funny.
You're just doing your thing.
Yeah. I used to sleepwalk a lot. Yo.
Yeah. I've only sleepwalked
Once.
Yeah.
I used to sleep talk too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny, but I'll tell you one more little story.
Okay.
So I would say the person my dad was dating at the time, she had some parents or grandparents. I don't know which was which, but I believe that they were loaded with money or something, because maybe not. I don't know. I just remember they had a very, very good house.
Yeah.
I remember going over there every once in a while, and we'd go into the house, and I remember I remember the pool in the backyard. That's like probably the only thing I remember besides like playing this one game on a computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also remember weirdly this one dude telling me a joke, but I don't remember the joke, but I remember I thought it was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. It was
Yeah.
something with gummy bear, but like I couldn't stop laughing.
Was it like actually funny, or did you
I
just
probably
make
just
it
found it
funny?
funny. It was probably a god awful joke, but I thought it was funny. I
Yeah.
I remember they had like a slide, like a full on working slide that they had for their pool.
Mhm.
And they also had
Yeah.
other things. I think they had like a net for the pool. It was a pretty deep pool too. It I
Yeah.
just remember that. That's the story. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know how you said your dad dated like
Yeah.
a few Michelles? So, I kind of have something like that, but not really. But my brother and sister's dad, he he dated a lot of
Tina's
Tinas, and
from Bob's
yeah.
Burgers.
So the first
Yeah.
yeah. So the first person he ever dated, her name was Tina,
Flippin'
and then the second
burgers.
person he dated.
Alright, continue.
And then the second person he dated was my mom, and she's the only person he's ever dated that wasn't named
Ooh.
Tina. Her name is Miss. Yeah, he spiced it
That's
up.
spicy. You threw a little bit of that paprika in there.
Yeah, and then he dated three more Tinas after
Yeah.
my mom. Yeah.
It's really neat. uh, oh my god. Okay, so I was just looking at my feet for some reason, just right now, and it made me think of a time.
Your
Huh?
weird feet.
What? Did you call me
Huh?
weird?
No, I
My
called your
feet's
feet
not
weird.
weird. It just has a very interesting arch to it. Yeah, it's not weird. It's just
Because you walk weird.
I just walk on my toes all the time. It's not that weird.
Yeah, so your foot's like arched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, my feet story. Um so I remember I think it was a while back. Um this was when my dad lived in this small little house, and it was during the summertime, and I remember I remember that entire summer I would just walk everywhere bare feet.
Yeah.
That was kind of like my style I was going with, was just bare feet, nothing, no wearing, no sandals. Well, I wore sandals every once in a while whenever I was told to, but like I didn't wear any shoes,
And
no
spicing it up.
socks, just like barefoot everywhere. So I remember there is this like little river slash lake down the road, and I remember I always like walked down the road with my cousin down there, and
Yeah.
uh and I remember there was always this like little prickly section like of grass we'd walk to get down near the water. So we would
Uh,
walk on this prickly stuff, and we would get it in our feet, and then when we walked back we would have to take the
mhm.
prickly stuff out. So over time
Yeah.
my feet actually developed these like little indents and like little bumps all over it because I walked everywhere barefooted. Like I walked on like that
Yeah.
textured concrete and that prickly stuff.
Concrete.
Why do you? I'm not gonna get into it, but why do you keep making fun of how I say concrete? Whatever. She always does this, y'all. She always like makes fun of how
She always does this, y'all.
Never mind. So I remember, I always had these like deep indents and calluses all over my feet. And I remember one day, I decided I'm going to get some tweezers. And I was sitting on a chair. I think we were watching Lab Rats and stuff. And I remember I started picking at my feet. I started picking it. And then I ripped a whole bunch of skin off my feet eventually. And then I got these like little holes in my feet now. So, no, I don't have it. It filled in, and it's all better now. But for like a while, I would walk around and like cotton stuff would get in my feet, and then I'd have to pull the cotton out of my feet.
Ew, that's
yeah.
so weird.
And then eventually skin grew over it and started filling it back in, and now it's fine. I got good feet. I started taking care of my feet better. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Du vet jag kan du inte du wawa. You got any cool stories about feet? Yeah, do you have any cool stories about feet or body parts?
I do have a story about feet.
Neat. You hear that, guys? She has a story about feet.
Lovely feet. But my sister, she's like she's interesting. She's kind of messed up a little bit. She has a heart condition, and her body parts are like really weirdly proportioned, and she's pretty tall, and so she was like really
she's tall
cramped
to you because you're short.
She was like, what? Okay, hey now. But she got cramped when she was like developing. I don't know. But so when she was born, her toe was like her pinky toe was overlapping her other two toes. Well, she has more than 3 toes, but like her pinky was overlapping 2 of her other toes. And she walks on like the insides of her feet because she can't put pressure because she has no like toe because it's like overlapping her other feet or her other toes.
Yeah. That's interesting. I have a bunch of bracelets of Morse code and stuff. And some say bitch, some say fuck. Morse code? And then there's other ones. And then I don't know Morse code, no. So I just wear them, and I don't know which one's which. So I might be wearing the fuck off one or the bitch one. I'm just hoping one day somebody knows how to read it, and then they go up to me and like, why do you have bitch on your wrist. I got bitches on my wrist. There you go. I got a new rap song. I got bitches on my wrist. Oh, that's great. What's the most interesting movie you've seen lately? Yeah.
Lately?
Or no, how about what is the most interesting video you've seen lately?
The most
Like
interesting
the most
video?
inspiring one. You don't know.
I don't know.
Have you ever heard of the egg video? The
I've
egg
heard
video?
of it.
It was kind of interesting. Yeah. I watched it, and what I got out of it is that like everybody was everything. Yeah. And it goes back into like I'm not gonna get into this. I'm gonna sound stupid if I do. But yeah, what is one interesting video you've seen lately? She doesn't know, y'all. Yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't really know. You don't really know. No, you don't.
I know.
Oh.
Yeah, I just said.
What is one of your New Year's resolutions? What was one of your New Year's resolutions?
One of my New Year's resolutions? I have a tendency to not eat anything, and then like at 12 o'clock I'll just like eat like everything. Yeah. So I'm gonna try not to do that. Yeah.
I have a New Year's resolution. It's weird because I don't really start my New Year's resolutions until January 10th. I'm actually going from being a vegetarian to being vegan, and I'm gonna see how well I'm gonna be able to do that. Also, by the end of the year, I will have a shredded six-pack. Yeah.
Okay.
That's two things on the physical side that I plan on doing. Then I got more on the psychological side. Mental. That's mental, y'all. I plan on reading a little bit more. I plan on leaving my room a little bit more. That seems fun. Do I wear glasses? Is what you were gonna say? When I read, I can read things from up close. I can't see things from far away. Is what I can't do. So when I start driving, that's when I need to start wearing glasses on the road.
Yeah.
Boop boop. Boop.
You should kind of already be. You should technically. You should have had your license by now. technically you should have had
license
your license
by
by
now.
now.
I mean, I could have, if I go out and get my license right now, it's gonna be a long enough wait, and it'll be like till like I'm 8. When I turn 18, I could just go out and do it pretty much almost instantaneously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just wait until like I'm 18. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'll be able to drive. Yep. Did you start driver's training? Are you gonna start driver's training?
I have my license.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you do.
License. Yeah.
No, you don't.
I do.
I have a boating license.
Yeah, I do.
I can drive a boat. I can't drive a car, but I can drive a boat. And that's all that matters. All that matters.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I also have like a hunting license, but I don't go hunting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any like reason to hunt.
I guess hunting.
No, that would be great. Have you heard of the vegetarian cannibal? You have?
Yeah.
I believe there was this dude. He wouldn't eat animals, but he'd eat human. And I found that a little bit interesting.
Of course you did. I found
I
it
did.
inspiring.
Actually, there was this other person. It was a cannibal, actually. What they did was they ate people in order to honor them. They would kill them like viciously, and then they would cook them in a very delicate way, in like a very fancy style, and they would eat them. They would honor them by eating them. You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wink. 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 Wink.
Hoy.
Do you know any cool killer stories? Do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
I do know a bit about this subject. I remember seeing a documentary about I can't really pronounce that, but like it's called the case or whatever. It's called the Pogowski tapes. And basically what happened is this dude, he was a serial killer, and he had this camera that he filmed every like abduction and like every murder that he did. And like there was like thousands of tapes, like thousands of stuff, and they hired this one person who, this poor person, had to watch them all and like take notes on them. And they interviewed him for the documentary, and they were like, how did you feel watching some of those tapes? And he was like, I just felt awkward because I'm the only person in the world who's seen those tapes besides the one dude. And they still haven't caught him yet, because what he did is he blackmailed somebody, and they ended up giving that person a death sentence, and then the day after he died, his alibi checked out. But it was like also that happened the day of 9/11, so it didn't get on the newspaper.
You know, it'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I'm thinking of like a movie idea, like where, say, there's this guy, he kills people, but he records them, and in the videos that he makes, he secretly has subliminal messages, and when people watch these videos over and over again, it makes the people that watch them have a desire to kill people and do what they do. They'll like so the idea of what would happen is he would be in this hood. He would be called the let's say the orange hood. He would have like an orange hood on himself. And what would happen is after people watch these videos, they themselves would put on an orange hood and kill and record videos in the same style and like subliminal messages. So like whenever like police catches the orange hood, they never catch the orange hood because it's all different people. And truly there's a mastermind at the top. Yeah. And eventually
that would be neat.
I feel like that would be a cool Netflix series.
Yeah, I would watch that if that was a show or a movie.
I'd put in like different interesting elements. But yeah, it'd be like it wouldn't just be like the horror of it. I would have like more of dramatic elements to it, more feel good elements, and more character development elements to it. Other than just that. We could have like characters that get killed off that are kind of like main characters, and it's interesting because you don't really get to see like main characters get killed off like that because most people aren't really brave enough to pull the trigger on a main character.
Yeah. I watched one show where like the second main character died, and it was like yeah. And it's not because they wanted to do it, it's because the actor wanted to quit the show, so they had to kill him.
I was watching this one show. I was talking about it with you a few days ago. It's called The Ranch. You remember The Ranch? I started watching the show because I was just bored and wanted to watch some interesting thing. I actually kind of got into it a little bit. And there's this one character. His name was Rooster. And it was like a bunch of the cast. Have you ever seen That 70s Show? You don't know what That 70s Show is? Well, a lot of the cast of That 70s Show was on it. And the guy that played Rooster, he was killed off, and I didn't know why he was killed off, but like at the time I was watching this, and okay, so there's this dude, his name was Nick, and he threatened to kill Rooster because he had sexual relations with his wife. And what was happening was he was trying to get him out of town, and that was kind of the end of the season. And then it picks up in a different season. And what happens is Rooster dies from like a motorcycle crash. And people think it was Nick, and nothing really happens. And then the father of Rooster comes out and kind of tries to drive Nick out of town. So later on, I think in that season, Nick is back, and something happens to Nick. Like, Nick dies. He gets shots in the head. And it doesn't show the person who shoots them in the head. I thought it was Rooster.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Isn't Rooster dead?
Well, Rooster in the show was dead because they didn't find Rooster's body. So I thought it was Rooster, and then it ended up not being Rooster, and I was disappointed. Like, that would have been a good character, like a driven moment, or like a good moment in the show. Come to later find out, Rooster, like the real life person, he was put in a bunch of Me Too allegations, and that's why he was written off the show. Yeah.
Oh. Dang. I see. Sorry if he just like spoiled it for you.
I totally did. They pay $5 to get a show spoiled for them. That's amazing. So, is there any like good shows that you've been watching that you would like to talk about? Spoil it to the audience.
Well, I watched, I finished watching the show Atypical, and basically, I don't know how to talk about shows. I just like watch them, but like, yeah, it was a good season, it was a good show. I watched the first season, and then I started picking up another show, and then I completely forgot about it. But then I finished the show, and then I started watching the second season of the show, and then like all of these giant like bombs started dropping, and the show became interesting. Like he got into college, and this girl was cheating on her boyfriend with her best friend, and then she ended up breaking up with her boyfriend to get with her best friend, and yeah, it was a good show.
Is there a new season out on it? Because I haven't watched that show in a while.
There's 3 seasons, I think.
I might have watched it.
2 or 3 seasons.
There's this one show that I was watching on Hulu. I don't know what it's called. Let me look it up real quick. Hulu original shows. What the fuck? I forget what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a really funny type show. I feel like you would like the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll in later podcasts, or I'll tell you tomorrow if I find out what it is. I'll tell you. Like, I'll tell you guys the show in later podcasts. You have to remind me that, by the way. Yeah.
Me?
By the way, how much time do we have left?
Okay. We have about
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like we just started hitting record on the podcast like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. Because it was 2 hours ago.
If this it's comfortable. The podcast feels comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Ah. Do you like to watch satire comedies? Satire comedies?
What?
You don't know
What is
satire?
satire?
It's like,
No.
satire. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. Thanks for the
You're welcome.
definition. I don't like usually typically watch comedies, but when I do, I end up liking them. I watched The Good Place, which was a pretty good show. It's kind of comedy based.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Have you ever been drunk?
Yeah.
What do you mean, kinda?
Not really. No, not really.
Have you ever had alcohol? You have.
Yeah.
How'd you have it? What? Tell me the story.
It's not that mind blowing of a story, but I was like 11, I think, and my mom she had this I don't remember what it was, and I walked downstairs and she was drinking it, and then she was like, "Do you want some?" And I was like, "Sure," and so I drank it, and I took it and I went upstairs. I don't think I got drunk, but
tipsy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I've only drank one time, and it wasn't even by choice. I think I told you the story. I was near my dad, and he had this little drink. I thought it was like Kool-Aid or something, and he's like, "You want a sip?" And I'm like, "Sure." He doesn't even tell me there's any alcohol in it. I take a sip of it, and it tastes weird. And then he's like, I'm like, "What's in it?" And he's like, said, and then said alcohol thing. I'm like, what? And then I got pissed at him because he didn't tell me that what was in it before I drank it.
Yeah.
And I was pissed at him. I don't ever plan on drinking in my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems.
I would say the same.
Bad for your liver.
Yeah.
Well, if you use if you have a little bit of red wine or stuff like that, it helps your heart. But it feels like medicine. You don't use too much of it. You don't drink a full bottle or drink a glass of medicine. It's do that once a year or once every few years, and then it helps your heart rate. Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Neat. But I don't ever see myself drinking. A lot of products that are not good for you. People like to argue the fact that weed is the I would say the only vice that isn't bad for you, but that's not entirely true. When you smoke it makes you cough, and through time, if you keep coughing, it's not good for your lungs and your tissues. So it's better if you just consume it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not against weed. I'm pretty sure you kind of know that. That's the only thing I'm not against. every other thing like shrooms, stuff like that, I'm against because shrooms is very, I don't know, shrooms is a little iffy. Yeah, but I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't care if other people take it, but like, yeah. You see, when it comes to like acid and like more powerful things like that, or cocaine or stuff like that, that's kind of when it's like, eh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh. What? Also, weed, I believe it helps with cancer. I think I don't know if it helps with cancer or if it helps with when treating cancer, like the pain. Yeah.
Oh.
It might be both. I don't know. I think it's
like,
both. But don't take any advice from me. I'm not a medical doctor. How much time do we have? 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how I don't like how some people, it's funny how some people talk about things that they kind of make up and speak it as it's facts, and the other people pick it up and talk about it. When like that's how most misinformation gets spread around, is when people that are uneducated on a topic talks about a topic. And a lot of people that actually do podcasts actually causes a lot of misinformation. Yeah. Which is interesting. And people just hear by ear. They don't go research things. And that's how a bunch of like information gets spread. Also, research is not Google, by the way, guys. Just letting you guys know that. When it comes to medical shit. You can probably learn how to fix like a car or stuff like that through Google and stuff like that. You just gotta be smart of what to learn from Google and what not to. You got anything to say before we wrap it up? No. You're just like, no, I don't have anything to say. Huh?
Fine. Make sure you go to credible sources.
Also, Google. Make sure you guys brush your teeth at least twice a day. Wear a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're being good role models. Oh, that's great. Come to the Mags&Caleb Podcast for good advice. Life advice.
Life advice.
Tune in next week for information about taxes.
Well, we only have a minute left, so thanks
for watching, guys. Go follow me on YouTube. It's I'm a Panda on YouTube, and I'm a Panda 15 on Instagram. Now you go.
And then I don't have a YouTube, but my Instagram is
You don't know your Instagram?
Mags. No, it's Mags&Cal, like KAL _ flips.
All right.